So let us start. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvisavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sankaram Sankaracharyam Kesavam Badarayanam Sutrabhasa Kritau Vande Bhagavanto Punaha Punaha Isvara Garuratmeti Murti Veda Vibhagine Brahmavadakta Dihaya Siddhachinamurtaye Namaha. Om Anika Janma Samprapta Janma Karma Vidahinaha Atmajnana Pradhanena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Nama Brahmadibhya Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartibhya Vansarisibhyo Namo Gurubhya Sarva Plavarahitaha Pragyana Ghanaha Radayartha Brahmevahamasmi Brahmevahamasmi Brahmevahamasmi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Om Gangurubhyo Namaha. Om Ganganapataye Namaha. Om Aim Saraswataye Namaha. Om Klaim Kalikaye Namaha. Om Klaim Bhadrakalli Namaha. Om Durgaye Namaha. Om Hrim Namah Shivaya. Hari Om. So today we are going to study the Brahma Sutra. This is chapter 1. Samanvaya Adhaya. The inquiry into Brahman and its prerequisites. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. To inquire into Brahman and its prerequisites. Actually, what is Brahma Jigyasa? Athato, now, like we studied before, Atha. Now, therefore, to inquiry into Brahman. Before you study Atha, now, then afterwards, Ataha, therefore, Brahma Jigyasa, a desire for the knowledge of Brahman. The inquiry into real nature of Brahman. Sutra literally means a string. It serves the purpose of stringing together the flowers of the Vedanta passages. We have many desires, expectations, wishes, and inquiries. But today, we are studying now the inquiry of the Brahman specially depends upon some antecedent conditions. The inquirer should be endowed with the certain spiritual requisites and the qualifications. Then only the inquiry is possible. So, before you are going to inquire into Brahman, you have to have certain qualifications. Who is ready in order to attain the Brahma Jnana? Attain Brahma Jnana. So, what are the qualifications we need? So after the attainment of the certain preliminary qualifications, such as the 4 means of salvation: Nitya, Anitya, Vastu, Vivek. The 4 kind of salvation. Discrimination between the eternal and the non-eternal. Number 2. So what kind of qualification we need in order to inquire into Brahma Jnana, the supreme consciousness? Iha mutartha phalabhoga viraga, indifference to the enjoyment in this life or in heaven and of the fruits of the one's action. So number 2 qualifications: indifference to the enjoyment in this life or in heaven and the fruits of one's actions. Then Sarsampat, 6-fold virtues: Sama, the control of the mind; Dhamma, the control of the external senses; Uparati, cessation of the worldly enjoyment or not thinking of object senses or discontinuance of religious ceremonies; Titikya, endurance of the pleasure and pain, heat and cold; Shraddha, faith in the words of the preceptor and the Upanishads; and Samadhana, the deep concentration and mumikshvata, desire for the liberation. So, those who have got an earnest desire for the knowledge of Brahman only are fit for the study of Vedanta philosophy or Brahma Sutras. Even without possessing the knowledge of karma, kanda, which deals with the religious ceremonies or sacrifices, a desire for attaining the knowledge of Brahman will arise direct from the study of the Shrutis. They are called Shruti or the Smriti. Smriti means a memory, and Shruti means the revelation of knowledge, which leads all the way to the enlightenment. The inquiry of Brahman does not depend on the performance of any acts. Any acts. He must know and realize the eternal Brahman. There only you will attain the external bliss, freedom, perfection, and immortality. You must know and realize the eternal Brahman. Then only you will attain external bliss, freedom, perfection, and immortality. You must have certain preliminary qualification for your search. Why should you inquire about Brahman? Question mark comes. Why you should inquire about the knowledge of Brahma Gyan, the total freedom. There is many kind of freedoms. Many kind of freedom. Because the fruits of obtained by sacrifice are ephemeral, whereas the knowledge of Brahman is eternal. Life in this earth and the life in heaven, which you will attain on account of your virtuous deeds, in a transient. If you know Brahman, you will enjoy the everlasting bliss and immortality. That's the reason why you must start the quest of Brahman, or the truth, or the ultimate reality. So why we want the Brahma Jnana? There's many kind of knowledge, many kind of vidyas. Many kind of yoga vidyas, asana vidyas, prana vidyas, business vidyas, right? Motorcycle vidyas, driving, earning money, household life, marriage vidyas, brahmacharya vidyas, tantra vidyas, many kind of vidyas we study. Sri vidyas, right? Kriya yoga vidyas, many kind of vidyas. But why we wish to have Brahma Vidya? So this is the self-inquiries. Right? So we have many kind of vidyas. But we are learning Brahma Vidya in order to attain the final, the ultimate, the reality, and the supreme consciousness. And we attain many things in our life. In the samsara, we attain many kind of fruits. Many kind of fruits we attain also. Many things we have successful in our life. Many things. Money, name, knowledge, as good travelers, right? As a manager of the companies. So many things we attain. Many things attain. But why we need Brahma Jnana, Brahma Vidya? It's very interesting today. Sometimes many people come to our Zoom meetings, but today is very special day to inquire to the Brahman. We see those have good karma, they only can inquire into Brahman. Everybody have no karma, the consciousness, inquire into Brahman. Sometimes we want to be free, but we don't know what freedom is. Everyone want to be free. I give very simple example. Alcoholic man. When he get a bottle of alcohol or a glass of alcohol, and he feel free. The young people, sometimes they try to take the drugs, they go to party. Sometimes they ask to their parents, they can have a few cents, few euros, so they can buy bottle of alcohol when they're teenagers. They try to hide their parents, and buying the bottle of alcohol, they go to friends. For them, that is liberation. For them, that is liberation. When people take drugs, LSD and so on, so they feel also freedom, right? So many kind of freedom exists in the world of material, in the world of samsara, in the world of vidyas. We have many kind of vidyas, many kind of knowledge. But among them, all the knowledge, among all knowledge, Brahma Vidya is the highest. Generally, as for the Indian culture of the Sanatan Dharma, the Vedic culture, who actually desire, who is inquired to Brahman? Very few, only the sannyasis. In ancient time, those who take sannyas, they only study the Brahma Vidya. Generally, the people who live in the samsara, they don't study the Brahma Vidya because they need to simply survive, how to free from the, how to be happy, how to be peaceful in the social and sansaric life. Because there will be no specific consciousness to inquire into Brahman. When you live in the society, what do you think? You want to have good house or good study, good money, good food, good shelters. If you marry, you like to have a couple of children, either one or two, minimum two, maximum that you know. And when you have business, you like to have all the time the profit, not the loss. And when you're leading life of the samsara, either you stay with your wife, your partners, with your children, with your mother or sister, or with your friends, or alone, but you want to be remain prosperous, peaceful, happy, whatever you need in the society, that you call freedom. But sometimes we experience that freedom. It does not continue long time. Does not continue long time. So therefore, among the old traditions, people choose sannyasa ashram. There is many kind of ashrams available in the world. But generally, as per the Sanatan, as per the Vedic culture, so people choose sannyasa ashrams. Why so? It's not there, everything is comfortable. No. But very few choose to sannyasa ashram. Not everybody choose the sannyasa ashram. Why they choose sannyasa ashram? Because that inquiry into Brahma Jnana, the final liberations. So you get the Brahma Vidya only in the sannyasa ashrams, among the old traditions in India. When you go to study yoga or Hatha yoga, Jnana yoga, Prana yoga, or like Kriya yoga, many kind of yoga you like to study. Like many centers are available in the world today, in the supermarkets, but who really teaching Brahma Vidya? Very rare. Because this subject is not so much interesting or intellectual entertainments or sensual entertainments. Brahma Vidya purely is giving you the final liberation. Final liberation means leave this world, leave the samsara. So therefore, very few wish to have Brahma Vidya. Very few. So as I say, that is very natural. Is for me also is natural. It is common to live in the samsara, in the society. We need all material comforts. And when material comforts are not there, we react. Even when you stay with your family, you react. If everything not comfortable. When you live with your partners, if everything not comfortable, you separate. Disconnect. Even stay with your parents, you not feel comfortable, is separate. Similarly, when you live in the samsara, you may have the all possessions, name, fame, money, partners, friends, gurus, whatever. There's many kind of gurus. But who actually really leads to you to Brahma Jnana? When you go to the alcohol factory, that guru, is called guru of the alcohol factory. What are they giving you? Bottle of alcohol, and you drink. You feel free. Sometimes the guru, the milk factory, somebody give you a glass of milk. So like this, many gurus are exist in the social, in the samsara. Many gurus. Some gurus you go, they give the ganja, the marijuana, smoke chilam. So you also feel freedom. Somebody give milk, you drink, also feel freedom. Somebody give you Hatha Yoga, you feel freedom. Somebody teach you Asana Guru, you feel freedom. Somebody teach you Pranayam Guru, so feel freedom. Somebody give you Hatha Yoga, you feel freedom. Somebody give Kriya Yoga, you feel freedom. Somebody give Sri Vidya, you feel freedom. But who actually give you the Brahma Vidya? So among the all Vidyas, so Brahma Vidya is the final. So therefore, we have to choose the right master, the right guru, who can lead us to the final liberations. So we need a state of the consciousness to inquire. Right? Like you have the consciousness, you choose for asanas, you have the consciousness, choose for the Kriya Yoga, or you have the consciousness to the Tantra Yoga, whatever the yogas. But among the all Vidyas, Brahma Vidya is the highest. Because Brahma Vidya is helping you, leads you all the way to the final emancipation, final liberations, the final consciousness, the total liberation. That liberations is helping you free from the samsara, free from the all karmic bondage. A time comes when a person becomes indifferent to the karmas. He knows that karmas cannot give him everlasting, unalloyed happiness, which is not mixed with pain, sorrow, and fear. Therefore, naturally, a desire arises in him for the knowledge of Brahman, or the all-pervading, eternal soul, which is above karmas, which is the source of eternal happiness. So you can see that whatever the karmas we may have the good karma, we may have the bad karmas, but the results of the karmas, the fruits of the karmas, not leads you the total happiness or eternal happiness. So therefore, we have to inquire into Brahman so that we can attain the eternal happiness. So whatever I'm giving it, this is a intellectual buddhi. And that you have to bring into the viveka. You have to bring into your descriptive knowledge. What is real? What is unreal? Then Charbak or the Lokayatis think that the body is the soul, like common people, especially in the West. So we have the Eastern philosophy, especially the West, what they say. Vedic philosophy, we call it Eastern philosophy. West means the world you live. Some think that the saints are the soul. Some others think that the mind is the soul. Some think that the intellect is the soul. Some think that the soul is mere momentary idea. So therefore, what happening? When you think your mind is soul, you understand? You have so much logical. Understand the soul. Who say that? Your mind says so. I am Atma. I am a Brahman. Who says so? Your mind says so. Right? That means your mind is the soul. Mind is the Atma. Then you are in a wrong trap. You are in became miserable. Sometimes you say, I'm the Brahman. I'm Atman. I'm free. I don't need guru. I don't need master. I know what I'm doing. I know who am I. I know everything. I don't need to waste my time in the ashram to study all scriptures. I don't need to waste my time to study yoga, study meditation, study shastras. Right? This the topics comes to your minds. You see what I'm speaking to you? that you might heard from your students, from your friends, or from your partners, from your parents, from your associations, from the samsara. Right? What I'm speaking to you? But wise people like Lord Buddha, like Ramana Maharshi, like great Swami Sivananda, Swami Vivekananda, like Paramahansa Ramakrishna, Srima, like Ama. What they do? They're doing great tapasya, self-enquiries. So wise people, they try to know by experience, not by the intellect. Not by the intellect. Sometimes we go to the study with the master of the shastras, and when you study in the class, I remember myself when I study in the traditional monastery. So what the gurus are going to speak? The acharyas. Same, no difference. They're going to speak Brahman, Atman, you are no mind, no body, no self, like that. So I need to waste my time. I know I'm Atman, I'm Brahman. I sometimes ask myself, Swami Samarpan, you waste of your time. You waste your time. But when I'm teaching today, I understand I was not wasted my time. I studied. Even sometimes today, whenever I have time, I used to go to traditional monastery. I was sitting behind and listening the Brahma Vidyas. That's the only one place in Rishikesh they are teaching Brahma Vidyas. That is called Kailas, Brahma Vidyapith. Teaching Upanishads, Gita, Yoga Sutras, and so. But even sometimes when I sit down and study and listening, I sometimes think, oh my goodness, I need it. It is important for me. But when your consciousness goes more deeper and deeper for self-inquiries, you are no more in intellect. That's the real self-inquiries. And you can work out in your life. As I said, yesterday lectures, or yesterday lecture before actually, when you meditate, or when you are alone, or when you are with more people, you see most of the time you are miserable, you are horrible, you feel very lonely. Nothing help you for your own happiness. Nothing help you. And say that time you think, yes, I need master. I cannot help myself. Or I choose wrong masters, wrong teachers in my life. So who will be the right teacher? Who will be the right master to teach me? And who can clarify my doubts? Who can clarify my inquiries? I personally, as a Swami Samarpan, I realize most of the time this. So therefore, when you are walking in the path of spirituality, especially for Brahma Jnana, the final liberation, never ignore. Study with the right masters. But there is many, because this is the world. When you get right masters, there are also wrong masters. When you go to experience devatas, you can experience asuras also, the demons also. When you going to experience the true wisdom with the true masters, they are also, you can experience the false master, the fake masters as well. So therefore, you have to develop such a consciousness, the chetana, or the morals, the viveka, so that you can find the right master, the right guru, who can lead you all the way to the Brahma Jnana. But very beginning, we need to have the proper ideas. I see that Charbuk, like normal people, what they think? Something that the sense are the soul. So whatever you are experiencing by the senses is the wisdom, is the eternal, but it's not correct. This mind is the soul, but also not the correct. Logically, you think, I'm all right. I have intuitive knowledge. I know what I'm doing. I know I'm doing everything correct. I know I found myself. I no need any help of any gurus or the masters. So something that the soul is a mere momentary ideas. Sometimes we think the spirit is momentary. I'm happy now. I don't need this knowledge of Atma or Brahma. I don't need to meditate. I don't need samadhi. Right? So this kind of ideas, the concept comes into our intellect, buddhi. Come to buddhi, the intellect. Am I clear? It's called self-inquiries. What I'm teaching today, the self-inquiries into Brahman, the Brahma Vidya, the Brahma Jnana. I'm not speaking to Atma. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Not Athato Atma Jigyasa, but Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Something that the nothing exists in reality. They say there is nothing exists in reality. I'm not going to give the names are here. Nothing is reality. Is everything is unreal? We sometimes think everything is unreal. My father is unreal, my mother is unreal, my wife is unreal, my partner is unreal, my guru is unreal, everything is unreal. Right? But when your child go to school, buy one to chocolate, Mama, can you give me 5 euros? That time Mama come as a real because of 5 euros. Like Maitri, the Marian, she can understand. She have the 2 daughters. And Alisa, I don't know what is the other's name. And they're going to ask, Mama, can I get the 1 euro? Why so? Ice cream. But before you say, I'm not real. But when you need money and go to school, their mama became real, father is real, son as your friends are real. Right? And for example, your partner. And when you become sick and lying on the bed, you need a glass of water. Son as your partner also not real because you are Brahma Jnana. But finally, you need a glass of water. And when on the bed, you want to say, oh, my partner also real. So I say, my guru is not real. So my guru is not real. But when they are sick on the bed, in the ashram, when a guru is coming and serving the food, giving glass of water and taking care of her and giving medicine, then, oh, my guru is real now. Before my guru was fake. And when you study so many things, You go to so many schools, so many colleges, universities, so many gurus, so many masters, but sometimes you understand, oh, I could not clarify my old doubts with many teachers, with many masters, even I found many gurus. But the real gurus you met very beginning, you even forget that. You say, he's no more my guru. I have all knowledge. Then sometimes you come back where you left and ask your guru, I don't understand these things. Can you clarify my doubts? So what I mean is all about to. So sometimes you think that nothing is exist in reality. But when you are walking path of Brahman, but there is the reality. Something that there is a soul which is different from the body, which is both agent and enjoyer of the fruits of actions. Others hold that he is not a doer, but is only an enjoyer. Something that the individual soul is a part of the supreme soul. Vedantins maintain that individual soul is identical with the supreme soul. Different schools of the philosophy hold different views. Therefore, it is necessary to examine the truth of things very carefully. So, Brahma Sutras speak about how to understand properly. And there is many scriptures. As I say that, there are many kind of vidyas. Many vidyas. Raja Yoga Vidya, Hatha Yoga Vidya, Jnana Yoga Vidya, Tantra Yoga Vidya, Atmagyan, so many vidyas. But among them, the Brahma Vidya, knowledge of Brahman is destroys avidya. So when you attain, when you are going to attain Brahma Vidya, and on the way, you are destroying all avidyas, all avidyas. When you are flying to another countries, what do you do? So leaving one country to another. For example, you're flying from Europe to India. So what do you do? You're flying over many countries. But at the end of the day, generally, when many people fly to India, they have to come over Pakistan. That is the shortcut way to reach India. And when India and Pakistan have war, sometimes say Pakistan does not allow India. Sometimes they travel all the way, the Indian Ocean. Indian Ocean, they spend so much fuel, and more expensive. Generally, when people fly to India, they have to come over from Europe, from America, and so on. They have to come actually through the Pakistan. That I did not know a long time before. When I read the newspaper, then I work out, oh. So for us, India, if we fight with Pakistan, India lost so many things, lost a lot. Generally, Pakistan don't lose so many things, but India lose so many things financially. So anyway, so therefore, we don't like to have so much complications with Pakistan especially. So we like to have peaceful, so we can live peacefully. Anyway, so that different subject, politics. But what I mean, so we have to leave one country to another, one country to another. Similarly, when you are going to travel to Brahma Vidya, all the way you are living the avidya in order to attain the vidyas, Brahma Vidyas. You understand? Brahma Vidyas. So therefore, Brahma Vidya is very, very important in order to attain the final emancipation, final liberation, final freedom. Ignorance, which is the root of all evil, or the seed of the formidable samsara, or the worldly life. Hence, he must certain the desire of knowing Brahman. Knowledge of Brahman leads to the attainment of the final emancipation. Hence, an inquiry about Brahman through the study of Shruti. Shruti means all kind of Vedic science, all kind of science of the knowledge of revelation, which is the knowledge not coming out of the senses, not out of the mind, not out of the intellect, not out of buddhi, not out of the mind, but out of revelations beyond mind, matter, and phenomena. So therefore, and that knowledge how can come? Once you are clarified properly. Intellect, mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. You have to overmaster the mind. You have to overmaster the intellect. What kind of intellect? Mana, buddhi. You have to have pure buddhi, sharp knowledge, sharp intellect, clarity of the intellect. You need clarity of the mind, mana, buddhi, chitta, the purification of the chitta, the clarity of the chitta, which is the suggestion of the brittis. Brittis are obstacles for the purification of the chitta. So once you have the purification of the chitta, the pure consciousness, that help you all the way to attain dharana. Then dhyana, then samadhi, that is samyam. So samyam is the integration of dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. And samadhi, samyam is not only to attain the samadhi, not only to attain the brahmajnana, but it is help you your daily life of the management of the sadhana as well. So you are going to management of your sadhanas. So you need dharana, dhyana, samadhi in order to have the pure concept, the pure consciousness to attain or to doing any kind of sadhanas for a higher attainment of the supreme consciousness. Hence, an inquiry about Brahman through the study of the Shrutis, Upanishads, even Gita, even Yoga Sutras, especially the Upanishads, the Vedic science, which treats a Brahman is worthwhile and should be undertaken. The question now arises, what are the characteristics of that Brahman? What is the characteristics of the Brahman? How I can understand what is Brahman? And the nature of the Brahman is described in the following sutra. So anyway, certain extent, this is a science, Brahma Sutra, the science of revelation. Shruti Gyan. This essence of the Vedic science, essence of the Upanishads. So therefore, Brahma Vidya, Brahma Sutra, people study when you study Yoga Sutras, Upanishads, and Gitas, Bhagavad Gitas. Three things are very important. Then you can study at least Brahma Vidya. Upanishads, very important. Gitas, Yoga Sutras, Sankhyas, Nyaya, and Vaisas, so on. But anyway, we have been studying many things, intellectual at least, because I try to take you more deeper. You can study throughout your life. You can study 7 life. The Shastras never completed. Like yesterday I was teaching to all of you Niralamba Upanishads. So that we also study in future. Very interesting Upanishads. There are all kind of self-inquiries there. It may not elaborately explain, but it is that Niralamba Upanishads explained shortly, smoothly, and also clearly. But if you want to know more, so we have to go more deeper. So it was very interesting Upanishads, especially the self-inquiries. I don't know how much you learn from my teachings, but I learn lots. So therefore, even one student is coming, I always teach. I know most of the time Atmanand comes in the class. There is no one Atmanand is there. So always Atmanand study with me or not, I don't mind it at all. Or I don't know how much he study with me. But I personally, when I teach, I study so many things myself. So teachings for me is the self-inquiries. It is my karma yoga, is the seva. For myself, to serve myself, that is my teachings. That is how, therefore I don't stop. Whenever I declare the programs, always I study. Janma Dasyataha. Janma Dasyat. Because the whole day we spend our time for many things. For business, for family, for friends. For many, sannyasis go for digital, for entertainment, to listen music or movies or so many things. But it's good to give some time to study Shastras every day. Sannyas people asked to our Gurudev Swami Sivan, why you write so many books? Why you like to give satsang every day? Why you have to study Shastras every day? He said very simple. Stop your food, don't eat. Can you stop your food? He said that. Don't eat. You decide. You don't eat today, don't study Shastras, no meditation, no satsang, nothing. So don't do that also. So stop eating. So stop studying. But Atmananda, he do both. He study also eating. That is good thing. Yes, I can eat, but I can study. So that is very interesting. So, and sometimes people have time to WhatsApp, Messenger, Facebook, right? Instagram, digitals, phone, but they have no time for Brahmagyan. That's the world. I sometimes ask the people, here we have the ashram, a Brahma Vidya ashram when I was there and studied for 3 years. Then I sometimes ask myself, so many sannyasis are here, forget the common people. So many yogis are here, so many sannyasis are here, they have no time to come to study Brahmagyan, no time. But they are busy for Bhandara, busy for friends, busy for gossiping, WhatsApp, mobile, and this and that. They have no time. So many sannyasis, so many sadhus. They have time to smoke, they try to gossiping in the restaurant and so on, aside of Gangas, but no time to come to the Brahma Vidya to study. No, actually not possible. It is a need, a state of the consciousness inquiring to Brahman, the Brahma Vidya. Sometimes we study few asanas. We think we know, I'm a great yogi. I know sometimes people study Ashtanga yoga, this physical fitness. They have no time to Brahma Vidya. Sometimes people, even I sometimes work at people go to meditation. Even sometimes people study Vipassana, Brahma Vidya. They think they're great yogis, they're great meditators. But there is an absence of common sense. I find out many people go to meditation. I did meditation, the Vipassana 18 days. So sometimes S.N. Goenka, he say that, the Guruji, Kalacharya. So S.N. Goenka, he said most of that, you can come 1,000 times Vipassana, but at least awaken your Viveka. A little bit awaken the common sense. Many times, many people goes to the Ama, they get big hogs. They have the addiction of hogs, but no awakening of the Viveka. Many people used to go to Sai Baba, see the all kind of miracles, but a little bit awakening the Viveka. Sometimes people study Kriya Yoga, a little bit awaken the Viveka at least. So don't stay in the techniques. Technique does not lead all the time to the final liberation, but understand properly the techniques. For example, you have the food you eat, rice, dal, chapati, bread, whatever, but it doesn't mean it's to give you the eternal life, you never die. No, it gives you eating the food to survive, to understand the meaning of life, to perform your duty, the healthy body, the healthy mind. Right? Doesn't mean you eating the food, you never die. You will die. Right? You will die today or tomorrow. But we are eating food to have good prana, good body, good mind, good intellect, so that we can meditate, we can perform the duty of the samsara, perform the duty of the family, do proper job in the company, taking care of the countries, taking care of your beloveds around you. Am I clear that? But sometimes you take the food, I never die. But it's not like that. Similarly, you get all the techniques of the yoga, either Kriya Yoga or the Tantra Yoga, the Sri, that doesn't mean You are the great, you are great yogi. No. You have to leave the old techniques behind it. Behind it. Tools, the techniques are tools, the medium to experience the higher reality. So sometimes don't be proud. I know so many asanas, so many pranayam, so many kriyas, or even Srividya techniques, even Mother Divine, even Mother Parvati, Parasakti. She said, I have the all knowledge of the Tantra. I study all this tantric science, but still I'm in the darkness. I'm in avidya. I'm in avidya. Right? What do you study in Vijnana Bhairava Tantra? Right? The Parasakti study all kind of Tantra Vidyas. But she was miserable. No Brahmagyan. So therefore, Parasakti asked to the Lord Shiva, Oh Bhairava, Oh Lord Shiva, oh my Guru, oh my Master, please teach me the science of liberation. I have the old technique, but no techniques works for me the final liberations. So this is called secret science of enlightenment. So the secrets, the science of enlightenment is always the hand of the grace of the master, the gurus, the real gurus, who is walking really the path of a Brahma Jnana. So therefore we said the grace of Guru, the grace of Shiva is the only can help you all the way to attain the Brahma Jnana. So let to surrender to the master, to the Lord Shiva, and receive their grace in order to attain the Brahma Jnana. So therefore, what is the characteristic of the Brahman? What the nature of the Brahman? They say, Janma Dasya Yataha. Second sutra, Janma Dasya Yataha. Janma Adasya Yataha. So what is that? Brahman is that from which the origin, sustenance, and dissolutions of this world proceed. You say, Janmadi, origin, Asya, of this world, Yataha, from which. Answer to the inquiry of Brahman is briefly given in this sutra. It is stated that Brahman, who is eternally pure, wise, and free, Nitya, Buddha, Mukta, and Suhava. Nitya means eternal. Buddha means the illumined one, like Lord Buddha. Buddha means who have experience, and a pure and enlightenment, the pure wisdom. Mukta, freedom. Subhava, natural. Is the only cause, stay, and final result of this world. Brahman, who is the originator, preserver, and observer of this vast world, must have unlimited powers and characteristics. What is Brahman? Unlimited, unconditional, eternal. Of the vast world must have unlimited powers and characteristics. Hence, he is omnipotent and omniscient. Who the both the omnipotent and omniscient Brahman could create, rule, and destroy it. So, you see, who both the omnipotent and omniscient Brahman could create, rule, and destroy it as well. Who is the creator and destroyer, the both. So Brahman is alone, is eternal. He can create, he can destroy. He have the all powers. Certainly, mere atoms of the chance cannot do this work. Normally, the atoms cannot do this. Existence cannot come out of non-existence. So existence cannot coming out of a non-existence, but non-existence coming from out of existence. Ex nihilo nihilo fit. The origin of the world cannot proceed from a non-intelligent pradhan or the prakriti. It cannot proceed from its own nature or the svabhava spontaneously without a cause, because special places, time, causes are needed for the production of effects. So Brahman must have some characteristics. We can attain knowledge of Brahman through reflection on his attributes. Otherwise, it is not possible to have such knowledge. Inference or the reasoning is an instrument of right knowledge if it does not contradict the Vedanta text. So, in the ascertainment of the truth or the ultimate reality or the first cause of scriptures alone are authoritative because they are the infallible. They contain the direct intuitive experience of rishis or the seers, what in Brahma, Sakshatakar, or the self-realizations. So you must understand what is the scriptures, what are the sastras, what are the rishis, what are the revelations, what are the shrutis. So the Brahma Jnana is attained by the rishis. Why they speak rishis? Why not speak monks or the sadhus? In ancient time, rishis, there was no parampara for monks. There was parampara for marriage. They have wife, they have children. That called rishis. And in ancient time, the rishis over mastery of their senses, mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. So they marry, they have limited children, one or two. After that, they try to engage for the Brahma Vidya. But today, in the modern civilizations, or after that, after a certain time, after certain civilizations, so people marry in samsara, they engage the totality of the life in the samsara. There is no time for a Brahma Jnana because there is no purification of the mind, mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. There is no proper viveka. So therefore, there is no proper inquiry into Brahman. So in ancient the rishis, they have an inquiry into Brahman. So Shrutis are written by the rishis and the Vedic knowledge. So Vedic knowledge, whatever comes, and it is the revelations. And what in experience of the rishis, seers what in Brahma self-relations. We can depend on intellect. Reasons because of a man's strong intellect can overthrow a man of weak intellect. You see, sometimes we think we have strong mind, strong intellect. I understand everything. But when you think you understand everything, that moment you are weak. You are miserable, unsettled. That's a weak mind. When you say that, I don't need master, I don't need teacher, I don't need the sastras. I know everything. Such a person is called horrible in the path of the spirituality. Obstacle on the path of Brahmagyan, the final liberations. And when you think I know everything logically, the same mind throw you out. You are in mental difficulties or mental asylums. So therefore, many people in the 21st century, even today, we are live the world of digital. We are live in the world of a Facebook or a YouTube. Actually, we are in trap today for the path of Brahman. It may is good for the social communications, intellectual communications, worldly communicates, but the greatest obstacles for the Brahmagyan, for the Atmagyan, to understand properly. We must use the digital world. And sometimes we think we can go to Google to find out all the answers. The weakest people, they go to Google to understand all the answers. Weakest people. But if you are smart, you go to master. Of course, sometimes you may check the Google or the internet, you can find some information. But be clear, we cannot find all answers in Google or the YouTube or whatever available today. All lectures are not possible, especially on the path of Brahmagyan, because most of the time when you meditate, you have specific questions, specific and inquiries that nobody able to give the answers. So therefore, you need proper guru, the proper masters. to get the proper answers. You see that last 2 days, we have so much self-inquiries. Yesterday before, we have so many questions. Right? So many questions. Certain students come to this platform. So sometimes our intellect think, I don't need nothing. But you work out that is the weakest part of your intellect. Weakest part of your intellect. And that you have been experienced last 2 days in your inquiries, right? About Upanishads, also before the Yoga Sutras as well. So therefore, Shiva Sutras. So therefore, I'm going to finish within 2 minutes. So you cannot depend on the intellect or reasons because a man's strong intellect and can overthrow a man of weak intellect. So when you think strong intellect, the strong intellect can overthrow a man, a weak intellect. Brahman is not an object of the senses. So Brahman, the absolute knowledge, the absolute freedom, or the Atman, the Brahman, is not the object of senses. It's not the object of mana, buddhi, chitta, or ahankar. See, nothing to the senses. It is beyond the reach of the senses and the intellect. So therefore, the second sutra does not propound here that inference serves as the means of knowing Brahman. So sometimes when you say, I know I am Brahman, I know I'm not mind, it does not serve. It does not serve for the final enlightenment. So therefore, you have to be very clear. The intellect, most of the time, leads you to false knowledge. And it leads you miserable to you. And you are in mental asylums. So much confusion, so much doubts. And when you enter into meditations, you remain confused. So you need to prepare some 4 things. Mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. You need proper mind. Purification of the mind, we call surrender of the mind. Mana, buddhi, the pure wisdom, the pure intellect. That is called viveka. Without viveka, that is not proper intellect. So we need over mastery of the 3 stages of the mind. That is called dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. If we establish dharana, dhyana, samadhi, it means you are over master of the mind. Chitta, mana, buddhi, chitta. Chitta only can purifications when you go into 3 stages. The conscious mind, the subconscious mind, the unconscious mind. If you are over master of these 3 stages of the mind, then your chitta is the pure, sad, clear. Good samskaras, ahankar, ego, ignorance. Ego is not about I am a great. No. Ego is not everything belongs to you. Even this intellect not belongs to you. What you say, I know, I'm not mine, I'm body, but this is not yours. It is also false. Anitya, anitya, anitya. It does not exist. Even your intellect say, I'm not this mind, not the body, but this is not yours. It's called anitya. Anitya, it changes. And you can see that in the life, many people, they have good intellect, they study very good. The class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4, after that, what happened? You see, your own children, sometimes they study proper. After going to next class, sometimes they are very dull. So how can you say that strong intellect, strong mind? No. Strong mind can be weak. So even sometimes you see, well, I'm so weak mind now. When I was young, I remember everything. Now I'm age of 50 and 40, I can't remember nothing. You see, when you're 20 years old, when you're 10 years old, you think you have a strong mind, you can remember everything. But today not. So your intellect, the mind is gone. Avidya, this is called ego. So you have to be very clear. Mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. It's not belongs to you. Whatever information get for the Brahman, it may help you for the social life. It may help you to management your worldly life, but does not help you the final freedoms. So therefore, don't be confused. So don't mix up mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, whatever you get information, that will misguide you. And most of the time, we choose the master gurus through the intellects, through our emotions, through the breaths. But that is not enough. You need to have intuitive knowledge. You need to have revelations knowledge to find the masters, so that you can go long way. Today you choose one master, you choose another masters. You say, this is not my master, this is not my teacher, this is another guru come. So this is out of your temptations. Through temptations, never choose the gurus. It does not help you for Brahma Jnana. Right? So therefore, choose carefully, properly. Similarly, the Brahma Jnana. So we have to find the right master, right gurus to taught you the Brahma Jnana. It points to the Vedantic text, which gives a description of characteristic of the Brahman. What then is that Vedant text? It is a passage of Taittiriya Upanishad. Bhrigu Varuni went to his father Varuna saying, Sir, teach me Brahman. So Varuna went to his father. His father was says in ancient time, so he the son of also rishis. So he told his father as guru. In ancient time, son accept his father as guru. Even sometime it happens. Like a Maitreyi, he accept her husband called Yagnavalk as a guru, the master as well. And sometimes it happens. So there, husband can accept also to his wife as guru as well. Sir, like it, sir, teach me Brahman. Varuna say, Yoto va imani bhutani jayanti. Say, Yoto va imani bhutani jayanti. Yena jatani jivanti. Yat prayatna visambisanti. Tad jigyasa swa tad brahme. Tad dvisi gya sattva saswa tad brahme. That from whence these beings are born, that by which, when the born the life, that into which they enter at their death. Try to know that. That is Brahman. So father explained. Yotava imani bhutani jayan. That from whence these beings are born, that by which, when the born the life, that into which they enter and their death, and try to know that. You see how the people are born and where they're coming from and how they live and how they die and where they enter into. To know this, it means to know where you're coming from, to know how you live, to know what are the secrets of the death. So to know after death what happens, what becomes soul after death. To know what is the death, to know where after death what happens, where your body goes, where your mind goes, where your soul goes, whatever. To know, try to know this. Where are you coming from? How you live? What is this body? What are these senses? What is the mind? What is the mana? What is the buddhi? What is the chitta? What is the ahankara? Then not only that, to know after death what happens. And that is Brahman. So you will attain the self-realization through meditation on Brahman, or the truth declared by Vedantic text, and not through mere reasoning, pure reasoning. Shuddha Buddhi is a help in the self-realization. So the pure Buddhi, the pure intellect, is need to understand properly, and through meditations, then attain the Brahman Jnana. So it investigates and reveals the truth of the scriptures It has a place also in the means of self-realization. But perverted intellect, viparita buddhi, is a great hindrance. It keeps one far away from the truth. So when a false knowledge, avidya, intellect of the avidya, it leads you exactly opposite direction of the liberations. That means you will attain the only, you are only suffering or misery. So let the pure buddhi, the pure intellect, the pure chitta, the pure mind. So mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, free from the ego. So four things you study also: mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. So you need Sudha Buddhi, the pure Buddhi. That only comes when the pure Chitta that you have been studying in the Patanjali Sutras. So this much today, and we'll keep continue. So today we study Sutta number 1 and 2. Athata Brahma Jigyasa. So Sutta number 1, then Janmadasya. This is what they're called. Janmadasya. Janmadasya Yatah. Athata Brahma Jigyasa. Janmadasya is the two sutras to study. The origin of Brahman, the characteristics of Brahman, and who can inquire into Brahman. So please do some homework. And tomorrow we have some Sri Vidya and study some mantras. I'm going to today, tomorrow, and kind of rituals by the mantras. So I'm going to teach you tomorrow. Very interesting day also tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday. I'll think about for tomorrow what kind of subject we'll teach. Om Namo Brahma Devya Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartebhya Vansarisebhya Namo Gurubhya Sarva Plavarahitaha Pragyana Ghanaha Hradayartha Brahmevahamasmi 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 Om Sankaram Sankaracharyam Kesavam Vadarayanam Sutrabhasakritau Vande Bhagavanto Punaha Punaha Ishvara Gururatmete Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyamavavyapta Dehaya Siddhachina Murtaye Namaha Om Shanti 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 Lokaha Samastaha Shukhina Bhavantu. Please repeat with me all together. Lokaha Samastaha Sukhina Bhavantu. 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 Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mriturma Amritangamaya Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pasyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkhava Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. So thanks to all of you. May God bless you all. And Adi Guru Sankaracharya and our Gurudev Sivanand bless you all for the path of Brahmajnana. Because today I follow the commentaries of our Gurudev Sivanand. So thanks to all of you.